Straight from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
What's with the laughter, John?
Your opening, it really cracked me up. You went there.
I did. I channeled my inner Gary Owen or something. like the laughing guy. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I liked it. Straight from New Jersey.
I wanted it to sound like the opening of a Looney Tunes cartoon. I want to give that bombasticness.
Nice. I liked it.
Thank you, sir. Happy Easter. We're doing it on Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter. Yes, we are recording on Easter Sunday. I just, that's... had to be reminded because, what meaning does time have anymore?
Yeah, it's been over a year since we've been doing it this way. And it's like, you forget like what day it is, what season it is. Like, I was like, oh yeah.
What your name is.
What my name is, who I am, what's my age again.
Yeah.
This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful car. How'd I get here? It's just a sea of confusion and questions running through your mind.
Right. And then you've got COVID on top of that.
Yes, exactly. Zingaroo! John, you still got it.
Yeah. So we're here to discuss Saturday Night Live season 46, episode 16 with host Daniel Kaluuya and musical guest St. Vincent from March the 3rd, 2021.
Right. Daniel Kaluuya, amazing dramatic actor. You've seen him in Get Out. You've seen him in Widows. You've seen him in Queen and Slim, Black Panther, and he just got nominated for a Oscar, and he won the Golden Globes for his role as Fred Hampton in Judas and the Black Messiah. And like always, whenever I hear that a dramatic British actor is doing SNL, there is a little part of me in the back of my mind that says like, oh, well, this. They can do drama, but can they do comedy?
And you were a little trepidatious on this one, right?
A little bit, but then I heard him on Mark Maron's podcast because he was on the podcast a couple days ago.
Folks.
Is Mark here with us today? Whoa!
Squarespace.
Pow!
Boomer lives. Monkey, LaFonda, cat angels everywhere.
That is good. Whoa, damn!
I haven't even listened to that podcast in a few weeks, but I just have it so internalized now.
It's just part of your DNA at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I got the Mark Maron in me. But I'm sorry, you were saying that he did the WTF podcast recently.
Yeah, he was on the podcast and he mentioned that. Oh yeah, like actually early on in my acting career, I used to do improv and I've done comedy before. I was actually more interested in comedy than I was in drama. And then he goes on to say, a lot of British actors who do drama like have a background in comedy. Then he said, like Emma Thompson and Hugh Laurie and Olivia Colman. Like we here in the States know them as dramatic actors, but they all come from comedy. And I was like, oh, he's got a point.
That's true. I know that Emma Thompson and Hugh Laurie, I think they were in the Cambridge improv group, and Olivia Colman is actually in one of my all-time favorite comedy sketches. Just look it up on YouTube. Number Wang.
I'm sorry.
Number Wang. That's all one word. It's a game show. I'm not going to say anymore. Just look it up and watch it. It's nothing dirty. Don't worry about it. But it's hilarious.
Is this safe for work, John? I don't want you getting our listeners in trouble.
It is 100% safe for work. Number Wang. Look it up. Okay. You will thank me.
All right. John, I haven't seen Number Wang, but John's saying it's safe for work. So it's if John said it's okay, it's okay.
100%. Watch it at work. Share a headphone with your boss. It will be cool. And you will be laughing.
You could be like, see, boss, it's not porn this time.
Yeah. So can you take Wang off the blocked words?
Yes. Can I get my Wang back, boss? Is that what?
Can I get my Wang back? Can Alberto get his wang back?
Give me back my wang!
Give me back my wang!
Not without my wang. Wow, this is.
Oh, that was a good movie. That is also a good movie.
Oh yeah,
Not without my wang. That unfortunately is not safe for work.
yeah. Don't look that up, guys. We're not
Highly entertaining, but not safe for work.
Oh Lord, no. Especially towards the end. Like
spoiler alert, he gets his wang back.
Yes. that's just a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone.
This is how we celebrate.
Welcome to Wang Talk.
Oh boy. So what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah. So based on that, I was like, oh yeah, he might actually he might actually kill it and do really well on the show. Now that I know he has this comedy background. And I'll spoil a little bit up top. Sure enough, I think he did a great job on this show. This show was leaps and bounds better than last week's.
Definitely a step up from last week's unfortunately disappointing Maya Rudolph episode.
Yeah, that was then. This is now. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a pretty strong episode overall. But let's get into it. Let's dissect. Let's just see the inner workings.
Let's dive in. Let's take this all apart and put it back together again.
Absolutely.
So first of all, we have the cold open, Britney Spears talk show. This was written by Colin Jost, Josh Patton, and Kent Sublette. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Sublette or Sublette? Sublette?
I think it's Sublette, yeah.
Okay.
But I just like to be
Ken,
all fancy.
Let us know if we're mispronouncing your name.
Yeah, Ken, call in.
Yes. But this was a Oops, You Did It Again with Britney Spears, which was a show where they shed light on the social pariahs of the week, and she decides if they're not that innocent.
Yeah. So, I mean, Chloe Fineman did this before, not too long ago. I think like a month ago, and they're bringing it back
because Britney Spears is still kind of sort of in the news, and Chloe Fineman has that impression, and by God, she's gonna do it on the show.
Absolutely. So the first guest they have on is Lil Nas X, played by Chris Redd, and of course we all know Lil Nas X got into a whole heap of controversy for selling Nike shoes with a drop of human blood in them. And putting out a video for his song Montero, which I just found out is his actual first name. His name is Montero Hill, and that's a pretty cool first name. I'll give him that.
Montero, yeah, that sounds like some cool cowboy, you know?
Yeah, Montero. Yeah,
Montero.
It sounds like
a nice stable SUV.
Yeah, or like a nice Italian restaurant, or maybe a nice town in Southern California somewhere.
Sure.
Got a lot of uses, that name. But yeah, Lil Nas X, he got in trouble with for the Nike shoes. I think Nike put a cease and desist on those shoes, and because I think he got them made without their consent, or I don't know how he did that.
I saw him going viral this week, and I knew he'd done something controversial, and I knew it involved something with shoes, but I didn't really dive into the story to find out all the details.
Yeah, it was that, and also his video for Montero, which I still haven't seen yet. I'll give it a look-see.
He twerks on the devil, apparently.
Yes, he takes he takes like a stripper pole down to hell and shakes his ass on the devil, and a lot of people. I guess a lot of people had a problem with that because
that offended some people. Apparently, I mean, particularly right before Easter Sunday. I don't know if that played into it or not, but honestly, last night when the show was on, I was just sort of half watching it. I was still like doing stuff on my computer, so I was like, I'll take most of my notes tomorrow when I rewatch. And I look away from the screen for a second, and then I look back, and then God's getting a lap dance.
Yeah, so that that was pretty fantastic. Yeah, so at one point when they're talking, Britney says, "Oh well, if you want to sort of even things out with the people that are upset with you, since you gave a lap dance to the devil, maybe you should give a lap dance to God."
Yeah,
and of course, and then they have Mikey Day come out dressed as God, and then Chris Redd kind of gets in this weird position where it looks like he's doing like push-ups on his lap, and it was really something.
He twerks on God. He's like grinding up on God. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course
they could have made a little more of that, but maybe it's best that they didn't. They even clarify after, they're like, this wasn't this wasn't the actual God. This was just my friend Dennis or Derek, or it was some name like that.
Right, like because they couldn't get the real God, so it's like, yeah, don't get all
He's a
crazy.
tough cat
Yeah, he's a tough. You can't really book him. He's a tough act.
because he's everywhere.
Yes,
So
he's
that
all
makes
around.
it really tough to nail down his schedule.
He's on this podcast right now.
That's
How
right.
about that?
He's
Ooh.
inside all of us.
Yeah, and
So tough to get him on mic.
yes, he's notoriously quiet and
Mm-hmm.
reserved. So that was the Nas X portion. Then they had another person who just got canceled, Pepe Le Pew,
Mm-hmm. With
and we have
Kate McKinnon in a very impressive Pepe Le Pew costume, I must say.
yeah, exactly, and of course, it was a couple weeks ago where people were all up in arms saying Pepe Le Pew should be canceled. He promotes rape culture.
Well, I mean, this all started because the story came out that Pepe Le Pew was removed. A scene featuring Pepe Le Pew was removed from the Space Jam sequel, and
Right.
this is just another kind of non-story like the whole Dr. Seuss thing from a few weeks back, where it's not really them being canceled. It's not outside forces. It's the people who own these characters or these properties deciding what they want to do with these characters.
Yeah, I see.
And that
I see
includes saying, like, you know what, maybe this thing's time has passed.
Yeah, honestly, if it was a thing where it's probably a thing like most people wouldn't have even noticed if somebody didn't like. I guess somebody maybe tweet it out or put it out there, and made it a thing.
I don't even know how it became a thing, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those faux outrage things that people love for some reason.
Yeah, people love to be angry all the time. Just like
they do. I don't like it when people are like, "Oh, I'm going to get outraged about this." It's like,
yeah.
There are like still kids in cages and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and there's like voter suppression laws happening, and maybe get upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, global warming's still a thing. I mean, Flint, Michigan, that water, I don't think it got any cleaner.
Choose your battles.
Yeah, there's bigger fish to fry, people.
Right. But, they point out that there are not many parts for old French skunks. Ugh.
Right.
I don't say that word very often. I like that the Pepe Le Pew had it like a cigarette holder. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, if you're going to do a French impression, you got to have a cigarette holder.
I guess so.
The two go hand in hand.
And he mentions that he's also in treatment for sex addiction.
Right.
Which, good for you, Pepe.
Yeah, you're conquering your demons.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Pete Davidson come out as Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Who
Florida congressman. He had a week.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of hot water.
Mm-hmm.
He's yeah.
Pete and by hot water we mean a hot tub with an underage girl that he transported across state lines.
Allegedly. Yeah, so they had Pete Davidson do this. I thought they should have had Colin Jost do this.
Right?
He looks a lot.
Colin Jost.
I mean, well, I'm jumping ahead, but yeah, Colin Jost does have a line in the Weekend Update where he says he does look like Matt Gaetz. So I don't know why they didn't have him do it.
He's got a bit of that vibe. Maybe it's just because, I don't know. Colin, whenever they had him in sketches, like when they had him play like Pete Buttigieg, if I remember correctly,
right,
the debate sketches, he always seems kind of uncomfortable, and he's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, so maybe they thought Pete would better deliver the lines and give the better. And I guess that makes sense.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say that's probably it.
Yeah, I guess so. So so Pete comes out. There's a couple times where he does that giggity giggity goo, the same thing like Quagmire does on Family Guy.
Yeah,
they throw in there a little bit, and it's just basically them sort of chastising him for all the horrible, awful things he's done, like you said, with 17-year-olds and the like. It's some kind of something.
Yep. I liked the line that they gave to Brittany. She says, "I can spot a teen predator. I was on the Mickey Mouse Club."
Yeah, the audience was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, and I liked that that Pepe Le Pew wanted nothing to do with him. He was like, "I'm a cartoon skunk. You're a congressman. Be better."
Right. Then then at one point, Matt Gaetz offers to twerk on somebody, and he looks towards Little Nas X, and Little Nas X says, "Hey, if you even come near me, I have hip hop fans and country fans. Both of those groups of people own guns."
Yes. So the final judgment was Little Nas innocent, Pepe Le Pew not that innocent, and Matt Getz, because they can't make a judgment on him, they say judge him by his face.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because the man looks like he escaped from a Beavis and Butthead cartoon.
He looks so creepy. Yeah,
He's
it's
so
just
like that pompadour and that face. It's just ugh. Yeah,
yeah. Even like Don Trump Jr. is like, dude, you're creeping me out.
major douche chills from that guy.
Right. So not a bad cold open. Pretty strong. Oh, my
Uh,
voice cracked.
it was all right. The cold open made Darren go through puberty, so
Ah,
that's always a nice feature.
it's time to change.
um, so not bad. Next we had Daniel Kaluuya's monologue, which was co-written by him, Jasmine Pierce, Streeter Seidel, and Celeste Yim.
Right. And yeah, honestly, once I saw this monologue, like I was more than comfortable. Like all my fears I had earlier about like, oh, he's a dramatic actor, he's a British
Mm-hmm.
actor, how will this go over? Once he came out with that monologue, I was there. All those fears just went away. This is one of the strongest monologues I've seen in a while.
It was pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
he came out super confident. He had jokes. It was weird to see like a first time host just come out super confident. There was no part where like the host usually does, like where like they go to the audience for questions, or they go to a song,
right.
or one of the cast members comes up and they riff together. It was just him. He came out telling some great jokes
Yeah.
about saying, well, I'm black and I'm British. I'm basically what the royal family was worried the baby would look like.
Yeah,
That's a solid joke.
that's great. I like he had a line. British racism is so bad that white people left to create their own racism elsewhere.
That's when I heard that, I was like, did Che write that? Holy shit,
I don't
that's
know. I
great.
mean, but that had a nice edge to it, and it's a lot more edge than you usually get in an SNL monologue. So,
Yeah, very much. That's like something a stand-up comedian would say as a host. Like
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
was really surprised. Like that's something maybe like Bill Burr or Chris Rock would say. I didn't expect Kaluuya to say that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
the guy did get out. He knows what edgy is.
he does. He does. And yeah. Then of course, he talks about him winning the Golden Globe. And then he shows like a clip from what happened during that when his accession speech, because it was through Zoom and he was muted, or they were having some technical difficulties,
Yeah, yeah.
and that whole thing went down. And
And
yeah,
he talked about how when he was 9 years old, he wrote a play, and it was based on Keenan and Kel. So, and now he's on the stage with Keenan Thompson. So that was obviously very meaningful for him.
right, and yeah, like he ended on a very sweet kind of note, and it was a really good. I was really impressed by that monologue. I thought it was really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I just watched that monologue again. I was like, wow, it's like for a first time host, he nailed it. Like he came out like gangbusters.
Yeah, that was an impressive monologue, man.
It might have been the best monologue of the season. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't want.
Could be. I'm trying to think of other strong monologues this season. I'm not really coming up with anything right now. So
I mean, the
I
only
will
one
say yes, monologue of the season.
I mean, the only one that I can think of that are maybe. I mean, the Bill Burr monologue. You could say maybe, or I would say maybe the Chappelle, but the Chappelle monologue was its own thing. That was like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I've
But
already declared this monologue of the season, and I can't go back on my word. So
that's right. We done. It can't go. We can't go back.
sorry, Bill and
look
Dave.
forward.
You know,
Sorry.
if I'd remembered you sooner, I might have considered you for this. But my hands are tied.
It's all right. Them's the breaks. Those are the laws. We can't.
Them's
It
the
is
break.
tradition.
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do? Like take away my fake award?
Then the whole thing's meaningless.
That's right. No.
All right. So far, the show's off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
First sketch of the night. Will you take it?
Yeah,
Game.
it's on YouTube under Vaccine Game Show. This was co-written by Michael Shea, Gary Richardson, and Brian Tucker.
Right. And so on this sketch, it's Daniel Kaluuya as the game show host. He's a doctor, and the contestants are all his family members.
Yeah,
Played by Ego, Keenan, Chris, Red, and Punky.
yeah,
And throughout the show, it's basically him trying to convince his family members to take the COVID vaccine
Right.
because
And all of them are high risk.
right.
And he starts out, he's just like, well, for 500, when any of you take it right now?
And they're like, yeah, I don't know, because I mean, I mean, the whole sketch is kind of based on the premise that black people are very wary of taking this vaccine because having the government give you some type of serum that they want to inject you with historically has not worked out the best for black people. So there are a lot of people in the African American community that are very wary of this whole thing. So they decided to make a game show out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Nice premise for a sketch. They actually called out Tuskegee at one point. So
They did.
yeah,
At one point, Punky Johnson says, "I can't take it because I'm a good Christian,"
you're right.
and then I think Daniel says, "Well, who says Christians can't take it?" She says, "Facebook,"
Right, right.
which I
And,
feel
and
like
one of the
is
other characters says, I'll take it when white people are taking it. And Daniel Kaluuya says, like, well, white people are taking it. So,
yeah. And then of course Chris Pratt says, "Man, you can't trust white people."
yeah.
That was a good line. I like that too. I thought this was a good sketch. I think it needed a little bit more. There were a few parts where there's a bit of a I don't want to say a lull,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I felt like a little something was missing. But I do like the premise and I do like the sketch, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. I felt like it could have been a little bit better, a little bit stronger.
Could have
I
used
thought
a
it was
little
right.
more oomph.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to get too technical, but
right. Exactly.
That was my read.
Maybe, yeah. That's well. I mean, that's another thing we'll probably talk about later. Where, like, I don't know, the cameraman throughout the show, there was something going on with maybe in the booth or something, but it happened a lot in some of these sketches going on where, like, the camera was not focused on whoever was talking. But I mean, well,
I don't remember any technical screw ups in this one. What
really?
When did that happen in this one?
I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, we'll jump ahead, but the Proud Parents sketch.
No, I meant in this sketch.
Oh, in this sketch, I could have maybe I'm thinking about the Proud Parents sketch more.
Yeah, it definitely happened in the Proud Parents sketch. Yeah, I'm not debating that. But
okay, all right. Sorry, listeners, I jumped ahead. But yeah, I mean, as far as this sketch goes, I did like it. I liked the part where he said, "Let's start the clock at all day."
Yeah, and then it starts counting down from 24 hours. That was cute.
Right, and I
mean, I enjoyed this. I mean, I thought Daniel played it well. It's nice, and it gave the host a nice meaty role. So,
yeah, no, to him to be like the host of this game show sketch, I don't know if you ever really see that. I like Chris Redd, like he had the line where I'll start taking it when white people start taking it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how Daniel Kaluuya mentions that Chris Redd was shot in the lung and he's at high risk. But Chris is like, well, hey, I have all those things, but I've never got sick because I sleep in my socks.
Yeah, that was cute.
There's a lot of real truth to this where, medical professionals are trying to get their friends and family who aren't maybe know too much about medicine to take this vaccine. And I imagine it's got to be very frustrating to them. Like at one point, Keenan says, yeah, I survived all my medical ills by the grace of God. And he's saying this to his doctor. Relative. That can't feel good. But yeah, like I also like the way the sketch ended, where Daniel Kaluuya said, "Well, maybe I can get my girlfriend, who is also a doctor, to convince my relatives to take the vaccine." And we cut to Lily White, Heidi Gardner saying, "Hi guys, it's so nice to meet you." And of course, all the family members are like, "Mm-hmm." You see right there.
Yeah. I did like because the sketch ended just a minute after her line, and then you see her immediately dash off stage to get to her change for the next thing. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. But yes, so far I dug the sketch. I thought it was all right.
It was all right. Next, we had a pre-tape viral apology video. This was written by Fran Gillespie, Kyle Mooney, and Will Steven. This was based on another story that went kind of viral the last week or two. Kyle Mooney stars as a guy who found mouse bones in his Applejack cereal, not moose bones. But that would be funny too.
That would be insane. How do you even get that in a box?
So this, of course, is completely different from the recent story of the guy who found shrimp tails in his cinnamon toast crunch, and then it kind of came out that the guy who complained about this and his tweet about it went viral. Apparently, he's not all that great of a guy.
Yeah.
And he's
So
married to Topanga, strangely
yeah,
enough.
I mean, he got to this jackass got Topanga, and that is
Yeah.
oh, that upsets me even.
Apparently, he's like a big gaslighter, and he's like treated some people very badly, and he's been
Uh,
very, very quiet since then.
yeah, I mean, his name is Jensen Karp, which already I don't like him. But yeah,
No, Carp. Has there ever been a good person named Carp? I don't think so.
I can't think of one. Yeah, so basically he went viral by putting out this video, I think, or a tweet saying he found sugar-coated shrimp tails in his cinnamon toast crunch, and
Right.
then the people at General Mills is like saying that's literally impossible. There's no way you found there's no way you found shrimp in our cereal, and
Right.
but he kept saying, yeah, I did, and it went viral from that, and then by Wednesday, as he kept tweeting about it, there's a lot of former girlfriends who accused the man of manipulation and abusive behavior.
Yeah.
And then it came out that he was
And
married
that's
to
not
Topanga.
good. You don't want that to come out, in association with your name when you're just trying to get a little serial justice.
Yeah, serial justice.
Serial justice. Boom.
Coming on Tuesdays on TBS.
Yeah.
And also, people have said that this sketch is also kind of reflects another YouTuber. Hold on, see if we can find his name. David Dobrik. David Dobrik.
What'd this guy do?
He got into some hot water. Like he's like one of these like YouTube pranksters who I don't know how.
Already, I don't like him.
There's like a whole section of people I don't know how they got famous and rich, but apparently he got
anyone who's like a quote unquote a YouTube celebrity. Yeah, you're not a real celebrity. I mean,
yeah,
you're very popular with a certain segment of the population, but yeah, you're not a celebrity unless I know about you and I don't follow your thing.
Exactly. Like you have to be
like I don't follow basketball, but I know who Shaquille O'Neal is.
Absolutely, you have to be like on the level for you. I guess. Yeah. You have to be like. I have to know you when I see you. When I see a picture of David Dobrik, I have no idea who that is.
Exactly. I've already forgotten his name.
Exactly. I know it because I have it in front of me. But yeah, apparently he's like this YouTube prankster, and I got to look into it. But apparently there's like some allegations about him, like sexually abusing people and women. And a lot of people have come forward. Then he's come.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Yeah, then he's come forward with apology videos, but then like more allegations came out after that. Now a lot more people are distancing themselves from him, and I think he's losing a lot of endorsement deals and whatnot. Which, like, once the money starts to go away, that's when they really start to sweat.
That's yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, but how do you not see that coming? Has there ever been a good person who's a YouTube prankster?
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're a YouTube prankster, I think it's safe to say you're probably a piece of shit.
Absolutely. I mean, geez, Alan Funt didn't realize what he started. What he did. He put all this into into motion, and he was like, oh, like, dear God, what have I done?
So like over the course of this, he says, all that attention, some things from my past have come to light. And so he records an apology video, and then like more horrible stuff is coming to light. Like he dropped a flat screen TV on his friend JP's head
as a prank.
And then he says, out of respect, I'm delaying the release of my tricking JP into kissing my penis video. And he's done other horrible things like wearing a Shrek costume at a funeral, and he has a video called "Racist Fart on Bus."
Which how does it?
I don't know. I mean, but farting that's bad. Doing it on a bus, that's worse. And racism, that makes it really, really bad. So
right.
So are you farting an ethnic slur? I don't even know how that works.
Can you fart the N-word? Is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like a useless skill to have. I can't imagine many circumstances where that would come in handy.
Well, you got to go down south then.
Yeah, I guess.
There you can. I mean, that's useful as hell down south, I'm sure. But yeah, I really enjoyed this video. Like I thought it was really creative and it had some good commentary about it. I liked the way it was formatted because like it's
Mm-hmm.
all YouTube videos, so they go from one video to him pranking his friend by dropping a flat screen TV on him, and then it goes to an apology video, and then it goes to another prank he did, then it goes to another apology video saying, "Hey, I just want to apologize for I'm still growing, I'm still learning." You know, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people say my last apology video was insincere, and it was, but this time I mean it. And, you know,
Right.
and then it goes to the point where it goes from one apology video to another apology video where he's talking about, oh, I lost my endorsements, and that's what really hurts the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are saying they've been enjoying my apology videos. So if you like my apology videos, check out all my apology videos.
Please like and subscribe. Yeah.
Exactly. So it becomes good commentary about all these internet pranksters like Logan Pauls and whoever else I just said whose name I already forgot. Like how like,
I'm gonna. I know it was a double D, so I'm just gonna say David Duchovny.
there you go, David. Don't bring his name into this. He's a good man, I think. Unless he's done problematic things, then I admonish his name immediately.
I think he
But
has done some problematic things, but let's not
ah,
get into that right now.
son of a damn it! You set me up, John. You set me up. But yeah, like I mean, yeah, I enjoyed this video. I think the way it was structured was really interesting about how, yeah, like I said, it gives all this
Mhm.
commentary about how all these internet pranksters are, do all these pranks, but then all the stuff comes out about them. Then they put out a video about, hey man, whoa, I need to do some real soul searching. I'm so sorry, and
Now,
like
see,
they do,
I thought it was just about the cinnamon toast crunch guy, so I had no idea that that other person was in the mix too.
yeah, I mean, I
Because
think
when
it's
I was watching, I was like, well, if you wanted to do the cinnamon toast crunch thing, why didn't you just do it? Why are you dressing it up in this other thing where it's you found the mouse bones in your apple jacks?
I think it started off with that cinnamon toast crunch guy, the whose
Mm-hmm.
name I already Jensen Karp. I just don't
Carp,
see it
yeah,
right here.
not a good
Karp,
name.
Karp.
Carp, fuck you, carp.
Yeah, you can just carp on out of here. But yeah, like what was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, so I think it started off with the idea of doing a sketch around the Jensen Karp guy, but then it kind of snowballed into talking about all these other internet YouTube celebrities who have done horrible, problematic things, and they come out putting out a video saying,
Yeah.
"Oh man, hey man, I'm really sorry. Whoa, I'm, I need to take a step back. I need to reflect." And and they come across as insincere
Yeah,
and
because it has just become kind of like that's the thing you say when you get caught doing something horrible.
right, exactly. You got to put out that video to show how much you quote unquote care, but you don't really care until the money starts to get fucked with and sponsors stop pulling their money. Then it's like, whoa, hey, whoa, I need to grow, man. Whoa, God's working on all of us. That's when you need to sort of reflect and do that. So I don't know. I really thought it had some really good commentary in that aspect. I dug this sketch. I don't know. I that's strong
Yeah,
sketch.
you definitely liked it more than me. For me, it didn't rise much above okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So, but all right. I see what you're saying.
All right. All right. Not bad. Yeah. All right. So next up, we got categories.
Categories. This was just like a family at home, or the family along with the boyfriend, played by Daniel Kaluuya, and the mother wants to play a game called Rummy Q, which is a combination of rummy and mahjong. But everyone else decides to play categories instead.
Right. So this one has Daniel Kaluuya, like you said, as the boyfriend, Heidi Gardner as the girlfriend, Mikey Day and Kate McKinnon as the mom and dad. And yeah, it's pretty
She was
much.
just playing the mom, just to clarify.
Right.
She
Yes.
was not playing the mom and the dad. Not that she couldn't,
She. I mean, they put
because
her
she
on
is just that good.
they put her on the show a lot, so maybe they were like, "Hey, just have Kate play the mom and the dad."
Yeah, yeah. This sketch, by the way, was co-written by Anna Dreesen and Allison Gates.
Right. And also, I should also mention that the boyfriend tries to impress the family by bringing over this bottle of wine called Josh Wine.
Hmm.
And as I looked up, both Josh Wine and Rummy Cube, both real things.
I figured Rummy Q was a real thing. The Josh Wine I didn't look into. Yeah, at the very end they have a twist where it turns out it's like a commercial for Josh Wine.
Right. There is a wine out there just called Josh,
Josh
which is
wine, the official wine of Rummikub.
right.
Yeah, this. I mean, the mother they don't want to play the game she wants to play, so she goes and is like puttering around, and she's doing all these passive aggressive things like clanging the dishes very noisily and slamming the door of the dishwasher and vacuuming and all this.
Right. And yeah, I think, I mean, from what I've seen online, a lot of people did not like this sketch because I think there was that one person that tweeted at us saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for the punchline to kick in on this sketch," and then they
Uh
had
huh.
like a gif of Mr. Bean waiting in a field by himself. Um, I get it because like basically the entirety of the sketch is Kate McKinnon's character, the mom, not being dejected because no one wants to play Rummy Cube, everybody wants to play categories.
Mm-hmm.
So once she finds that out, she's like, "Oh, you all want to play categories? Okay, that's fine. I have to go clean the kitchen anyway." So they play categories, and then she like you said, loudly clangs
Mm-hmm.
all the pots and pans away, saying she's cleaning, and she's loudly puts all the dishes away in the dishwasher, and she's like, everybody just kind of being quiet and just kind of also slowly getting annoyed. There's a
She
slow
listens to a cover of "You're So Vain." She says like, "Oh, but I have my headphones on." They're like, "Yes, but you're playing it through the speakers."
Yeah, the whole sketch is like a very slow burn with a lot of kind of awkward silence as everybody is trying to ignore her while not being able to notice that she seems upset, but she's not saying anything. She's like slamming the door on the dishwasher repeatedly, saying, "Oh, it won't latch! It won't latch!"
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of slow burn, a lot of awkward silences in there, and that, I mean, I guess that's the punchline. Uh, I don't know. What were your thoughts on this?
I mean, I didn't think much of it. I didn't hate it like some people seem to on Twitter. I mean, I was just like, oh, well, it's there. That's the thing they did.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I kind of feel
That's
the
kind
same
of.
way.
I mean, I wasn't like majorly offended by it the way I was several of the sketches last week.
Ooh, hey
Not
now.
like morally offended, but just offended. And, they weren't especially funny.
It was no Nas tweaking. It was no little Nas X twerking on God.
No, no, but I mean that's just gold. I mean,
Yeah, gold, Jerry, gold. Yeah, I think I feel the same way. Like I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did, but I understand how you could not be crazy about it because like I mean, for the most part, the joke of the sketch was just her being upset that no one wanted to play her game, and there's a
mhm.
lot of passive aggressiveness on her part, and there's like a lot of silence, a lot of just noise going around. At one point, she's vacuuming the kitchen right at their table, and they're trying to ignore her, saying, "Hey,
Yeah,
is
she's
a
taking their wine that's basically full, and then she's like starts drinking it herself.
yeah." At one point, she's like at the garbage disposal. Like, and it's going off really loudly, and they're saying, "Hey, mama, what are you doing over there?" It's like, "Oh, I'm just putting some family pictures in the garbage disposal."
I did like that. I thought I enjoyed that just because that was a nice absurd touch.
But yeah, like I mean, I don't know if the sketch maybe needed to escalate somewhere, or it just seemed like I guess it was kind of like maybe meandering just a little bit, and the humor was in just the passive aggressive, act that she was carrying out, and like the silence of them trying to sort of go along with the game that they were playing while she was just clearly being upset with it. Like that's where the humor was, and if you didn't, if that's not for you, then you wouldn't like the whole sketch.
Yeah, I was just,
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
you know.
Mm, tasty
I
Josh
mean, it
wine.
didn't do much for me, but I'm not going to get worked up about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
The thing I think I liked the most about this sketch was Kate McKinnon's mom wig.
Yeah, she went full.
Very very strong mom vibes from that wig.
Yeah, full on John and Kate +8 there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that thing was.
So kudos to SNL's wig person.
That thing was
That
high
was
and.
chef's kiss.
That thing was high and tight.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So next up, Proud Parents. This is another slice of life. There's a lot of slice of life sketches in today's episode. Which I've
Yeah,
noticed.
this sketch is credited to Dan Bula or Beulah.
I think it's Beulah.
Beulah.
Yeah, and
Beulah.
that kind of
Beulah.
Beulah, Bueller,
Anyone? Beulah.
Bueller.
Now you were
Oh,
saying you were getting like some Ego Nwadum vibes from this sketch.
yeah. Well, so basically, the premise of the sketch is a bunch of couples and their college age kids are hanging out at someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it has Ego and Daniel Kaluuya as two Nigerian parents and their college age Nigerian son,
Right.
and they're hosting
Well,
another couple.
weren't they Ugandan? Because they were talking about Ugandan cooking, right?
Oh yeah, I believe Ego. I mean, like the actors themselves. Ego was Nigerian, and Daniel Kaluuya is Ugandan because
Okay.
But and also there was Keenan and Edie were a couple, and Kate and Beck were a couple with their college age son played by Andrew Dismukes, and they were just everybody's hanging out and talking. They're talking, and I think believe Andrew Dismukes was saying, "Hey, I'm also getting into art a little bit. I have this new sculpture that I made," and they bring out the sculpture. It looks interesting. It's
Mm-hmm.
interesting, and then the African parents talk about their college age son, Chris Red, saying, "Yeah, our son here, he's pre med and
He's
he's
going to be
gonna."
a doctor.
Yeah, and then that's when Chris Red says, "Hey, actually, I decided not to do that, and I'm gonna get into creative writing."
Right. And yeah, the parents they come down on him.
Yes.
They say like, "Hey, if there's anything we've learned from this pandemic, it's that the world needs more poets."
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the reason I thought that Ego might have a hand in this is because I watched an old episode of Seth Meyers recently, and when she was on Seth Meyers being interviewed, and she even said, "Yeah, like I was pre med. I was going to be a doctor. I actually have a
oh,
degree. She actually has a degree in biology. She got from I believe, the University of Southern California.
oh, I did not know this. This is
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she was going to be a doctor, but her heart wasn't in it. She really loved acting and performing. So this feels like the conversation she had with her parents because,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, because like I mean, from what I know, like a lot of first generation kids whose parents come here from different countries, like if you tell them that you don't want to work, you know, in well, there's for people for first generation kids whose parents come here from different countries. There's like three careers that your parents will probably want you to be in. Either you're a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, and anything else.
So thought you were
eh,
going to say Indian chief, but okay.
Whoa! I don't think you can do that.
The song lyric.
Oh, I see. Doctor, lawyer, Indian. Oh, wow! That totally went over my head. Good catch, sir. Well done. But yeah,
Just to clarify, song lyric, not random racism. Song lyric.
Okay, yeah, let's put that out there. Let's put that out there.
Please don't cancel me. I don't want to have to make an apology video.
Whoa, man. Wow. I guess on the last podcast, I said some things that weren't cool.
Because honestly, I don't want to make any videos.
Yeah,
That just seems like work.
yeah. You got to get a camera and everything, lighting.
Yeah.
Who wants
I'll
that?
do an apology podcast. I mean, that's within
Yeah,
my technical know-how.
yeah. You put out a apology voicemail. You put it on your phone.
There you go. Like,
There you go.
as long as I can put the bare minimum of effort into the apology.
SNL nerds, the bare minimum effort.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people who are first generation whose parents came here from, African countries or Asian or South Asia will tell you, yeah, your parents, they'll either want you to be a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer, and
Okay.
anything else, they kind of frown upon, and especially if you want to work in the arts, that's totally like ridiculous to them. That's a waste of time.
Right.
They see working in comedy as like, oh, you want to be a jester, you want to be a clown. I see.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So this gives me a little more context for this because I was like, when I watched it, I was like, I don't know if I entirely get this. I mean, I get what they're saying, but I felt like I needed to be Ugandan to like totally get this.
yeah, I think like a lot of people who have from Asian descent or South Asia descent or African descent really got this because like that
Mhm.
that is a thing. Like your parents will want you to be one of those three things, and if you're not those three things, then what good are you? So
Okay.
like I mean, my wife saw this sketch and she laughed out loud because she was like, yeah, this is true. So I mean, that's why I thought
We should clarify that your wife is
and
Nigerian.
it. Oh no, she's actually an Indian chief. but thank you for.
Okay. Okay. I don't
uh,
see color, Darren.
that's right. We're all God's children. Hey, man. But yeah, so I mean, that's why I thought Ego or maybe even Kaluuya had a hand in writing this sketch because it seems very like yeah, it touches on a subject that would be familiar to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense to me. I was not aware of that context, so
Right, right.
the
But
sketch makes more sense to me now.
yeah, so it's basically the whole sketch is just them chiding their son to be for wanting to be an artist, wanting to be a poet. And of course, Ego has that great line saying, "Look, I understand, but if you really don't want to be a doctor, you have to."
Yeah.
It was
That's a good line. That's a good line. Sketch was unfortunately it was marred by a few technical screw ups. Like early on, when Ego and Daniel Kaluuya are talking, they're not on camera like at all.
yeah. This was a sketch I was talking about with all the camera snafus.
Yeah,
There
I
was
mean this one I definitely noticed. You couldn't not notice it.
yeah,
I
like
thought you were saying that there was a snafu in the other sketches.
yeah, no, like I thought it was a sketch, but now I think about no, it was definitely this sketch because like I don't know if there's something going on where like they're making adjustments to the script like
Hmm.
minutes before the show and it's just not being communicated to the people in the control booth or the cameraman or what, but it was glaring. It like almost took away from the sketch for me. Like I almost like didn't enjoy the sketch as much as I should have because like the camera, you know, snafus and mishaps were just so apparent. I was like, what
Uh-huh.
is going on here? This guy, because like I mean, there have been so many sketches we've talked about where the writing wasn't there, or where the concept wasn't there, or where the acting wasn't there, and this was a sketch where all three of those things were there, and the one thing that almost sinks it is the camera work. So I was like, dude, what the flip?
Hmm.
And my voice cracked again, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this sketch. I mean, despite the camera, mishaps, this was I thought it was a really solid sketch. I might say this would be the sketch of the night for me.
Really?
I
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
That wasn't for me at all, but all
Oh,
right.
all right. I also liked at the end where the other parents are trying to console them, like, hey, the world needs artists too, and like you said, Daniel Kaluuya comes with that great line saying, hey, if the pandemic has taught us one thing is that the world needs more poets.
Yeah.
And then when the sketch ended, it had them saying, hey, everybody, let's raise a toast to both of our sons who are strong artists. And of course, Ego and Daniel are both holding glasses. And they squeeze the glasses and they crash, the glasses break
Right,
in their
right.
hands.
And she's
And
like, "Oh, if only there was a poet here."
yes, exactly. And I thought that would be the end of the sketch, but then they come in with that joke. It was like, oh no, my hands are bleeding. Is there a poet in the house? I thought
Right.
that was a pretty strong joke. I really dug this sketch. Like I don't know, maybe because it connected to me a little bit more, but I don't know. I thought it was a damn strong sketch.
Yeah, didn't really speak to me. Like I said, I just I don't think it was bad. I just felt like I personally didn't really have the context for it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the sketch was pretty solid. And again, like I know I keep saying it, but I really like Ego Wodum. Like I've said it before, but she's really the future of SNL. Like she keeps proving herself over and over again that she is like undeniably solid as a performer. Like she can play big. She can pull it back a little bit when she needs to. Uh, I thought she wrote this. I was going to say her writing strong, but I guess she didn't write this. And
Wah, wah.
oh, and
Yeah, but no, but she's strong. I like her. She's very versatile. She's having a great season.
yeah, she's versatile. She plays off the other cast members very well. Like I don't know. I'm Team Egro all the way.
I'll co-sign that.
Right, right. And so next up, we have our performance from our musical guest, Saint Vincent.
Hmm.
Her first song was called "Pay Your Way in Pain,"
Great
and
title. Great
yeah,
title.
and her second song is
The
"The Melt."
melting of the sun.
Another great title.
Mhm.
So what do you think? Are you familiar? You're a fan of Saint Vincent,
I
or
had heard of Saint Vincent. I wasn't terribly familiar with her stuff, so I was coming to this pretty fresh. She has like a real retro vibe with her look and kind of with her music too. She's like in a pantsuit with a butterfly collar. Her
yeah,
backup
like
singers are in these maroon dresses. Honestly, if you had told me that this was a musical number time warped in from a SNL show from 1976, I would have believed you.
Yeah, she is full on Rhoda in this
Yeah,
in that first sketch.
she is rotoing it up.
Yeah, I'm sort of familiar with Saint Vincent. I know she kind of changes up her styles a little bit. She's not really kind of married to one type of genre of music. I know she's
Mm-hmm.
kind of rides that line between like alt rock and like pop a little bit. Sometimes her stuff can be like more art pop or like more art rocky. But like I know, like for this upcoming album she has coming out in May, she said, "Yeah, I want to make an album that has like a very late '70s New York aesthetic, like that CBGB's
Mm-hmm.
glam rock type of vibe." And I definitely got that from these two performances. I definitely got
Definitely, yeah.
I got like shades of like David Bowie, like this first song, Pay Your Way Through Pain, Pay
Mm-hmm.
Your Way in Pain." I don't know why it reminded me of David Bowie's Fame a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe it was the chorus or something. And but yeah, both songs had like that David Bowie 70s Rolling Stones type of vibe, which I dug quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, she had the full on platform shoes. You know, she was
One of her
rocking it.
backup singers had a big afro. I mean, they had the look, man.
Yeah, they had the look, and she's just like a really good performer, though. She had like great stage presence, and you know, very confident. And I don't know, it was a solid. Both performances were really solid. Like I know a lot of my friends love Saint Vincent; they swear by her. But I guess I got to get into Saint Vincent now and see what all the hubbub's about, as the
Yeah,
people
it
say.
was good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thumbs up. I think both her performances elevated this episode.
Yeah, the second number, it was more ballady. It was like very mellow. A thing that really struck me was I don't think I've ever seen like all the backup singers just sitting before. Um,
Yeah, they're all like, "Hey, take a break, guys."
I mean, it's not unusual to see somebody like sitting at a piano or something, or even like seated while they're playing guitar, like St. Vincent was. But I've never seen all the backup singers just sitting too. They're all just
Yeah,
kind of chilling. It was very mellow. And as a middle aged man, that vibe just appeals to me.
yeah.
It
Look, if
matches my energy.
right, look, if I could do an entire show where I'm just sitting down and not standing up, I could
That's
be a
the
rock
dream.
star. I could be a rock star tomorrow.
Exactly. If I could be a rock star while lying down on my couch the entire time, that would be ideal.
If I could be a rock star fully asleep in bed with the covers pulled over my head,
Right.
I could totally do that tomorrow.
Yeah, with a nice heated blanket, like a
Ooh.
hot water bottle, maybe.
Oh, nice. You got like maybe like some music playing in it, some soft rock, some light
Yeah,
rock in the
you
background.
just drank some warm milk.
Oh, maybe
You've got
like
an IV in.
that sounds like you're in the hospital, man. Are you all right?
I don't. I'm just trying to keep that mellow vibe, man. I'm just
It
trying
sounds
to
like
keep that mellow vibe going.
yeah, dude. It sounds like you're in a coma. I think you're
I
describing
mean,
a coma.
ideally, in a perfect world, yes, I would be in a coma. That's the
That's
dream.
that's what I aspire to be in a.
Although not so much with the dreaming because coma.
I aspire to be in a lifeless coma and then wake up when all of the horribleness of the world is over. That's my dream.
This is all I'm saying.
Mm. You make good points, my friend. You
This
make
is all
good
I'm
points.
saying. But no, it was a good musical guest.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I enjoyed it.
Uh, yeah. All right. So, next up, weekend update. Jost Che.
I've heard of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Um, Jost had a strong line coming out of the gate. He's talking about Matt Gates saying he looks like a caricature artist drawing of me, and it's a great caricature, man.
Yeah, like Central Park style, like that. Those dudes in the park that, like, hey, you want me to draw you and your girlfriend by
Yeah,
the
it was
boardwalk?
really, really strong. I don't know who they had do that caricature, but that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And of course, I think Joe's had some other good jokes of talking about how, hey, how come QAnon hadn't said anything about Matt Gates? Like, this is your thing. I thought you'd want this guy taken down.
Yeah, and it's like you never hear the QAnon people going like, "Yeah, we need some more evidence," or "You can't
Exactly.
believe everything you read on the internet."
Of course, and of course, they say Matt Gates is a man who believes that only voters need to show ID because Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great
Woo!
line. That was a strong line.
Exactly. And Che had some good jokes. He had like a couple of Joe Biden jabs where he's talking about the New Deal and him saying,
Right.
"Hey, I thought we weren't supposed to be making fun of his stutter."
Yeah, that's a decent joke.
Good jokes I thought in this one.
Yeah, yeah. And we had let's see, we had three um desk segments, which was kind of unusual. Usually they just have two.
Yeah. They were packing them in.
But we had for Easter Sunday, we had Kate and Adie appearing as their characters from Smokery Farms Meat Delivery Service, and they're supposedly giving tips on adapting meals for vegetarians. But it's really just them desperately trying to push their meat delivery service, and they say we only serve meat from animals that genuinely deserve to be killed.
Right. And again, this is I don't. I mean, I thought this was okay, but it kind of falls into that trap of, oh, it's Adie and Kate just having fun.
I mean, the thing is, they've done these characters, I think, at least twice before, and the joke is basically like they're handling like these really, really smelly meats. Which, I mean, having smell-based humor, it's a wonderful thing on a visual medium like television.
Yes, smell-o-vision is not here yet, people. We're still
Yeah, yeah.
technology's not there yet.
Um, I mean, because what's better for a live sketch comedy show than smell-based humor?
Yeah, like at one point they were like talking about, oh wow, it really smells. Woo! Oh
Yeah,
wow, and the bottom's wet. Well, I can't tell any of those things are true as the viewer in my home
right,
watching
right.
this.
Because we have not perfected the smell-o-vision technology.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
also just because they've done this before, I knew where the joke was going right from the beginning. But they did have some good lines in this. They were saying like, this lamb went to a plantation based wedding. This hen contributed to a toxic work environment.
and this veal jerked off on the subway.
Yes, um, and they say that this extremely rude steer takes videos of fat, poorly dressed people and shares them in the group chat. So
Yeah,
there were some really creative ways that these meets were horrible.
yeah. No, I mean, there were good lines in there. I did enjoy those, but there was that kind of underlying thing where uh, like Kate and Adie were kind of amusing themselves throughout this
Hmm.
whole segment. I mean, at one point, not at one point, but throughout the whole thing, like Kate is giggling pretty much throughout the entire segment. Just and
Yeah,
then of course that makes Adie giggle, and it's like the two of them just giggling kind of nonstop throughout this thing. It kind of gave me vibes of Jimmy Fallon and Horatio. I was like, whoa, are we back to that?
here's another one from Fallon and Sands. Yeah, um,
Yeah. But I mean, there were good lines in it. I don't want to say like I
yeah. I
told.
mean, this amused me somewhat, and I liked these characters when they did them before. I don't know if I needed to see them a third time, but it was all right.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, yeah, I don't want to totally hate on it. It did the veal that jerks off on the subway did give me a laugh.
Yeah, yeah. I think they said yanks off on the subway, which I
Yeah.
wonder if that was like a standards and practices thing, or if that was just a
Um.
more creative way to say it.
You can't say jerks. I guess maybe you can
I
say
don't
jerks.
know. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't. Maybe it's a context thing.
But I mean, Yankstoff sounds kind of worse, doesn't it?
Well, it's more unique,
Hmm.
certainly.
Interesting. All right, guys,
I don't
call
know.
it. Let us.
It just struck me that they said yanks off. If they just said jerks off, I might not have noticed it.
Guys, call and let us know your favorite euphemism for beating off.
Do you prefer yanking? Do you prefer jerking?
Before
We want to know.
cranking,
Please, no
beating.
pictures.
Yeah, please, Lord, no, don't do that. That's NSFW. Next up, Alex Moffat, the guy who just bought a boat.
Yeah, he's giving advice for dating now that things are opening back up. Again, there were some clever puns in this one. We should note that Anna Dreesen contributed to the writing for both of these segments, by the
Oh,
way.
right.
So this also had some very clever puns. The only one I wrote down was a crash bandicoot leads to smash hand in coot. So
Yeah. I mean, I really like this part just because I really love the way that Moffat is able to sort of, rapid fire all these jokes out, and he does this thing throughout this segment where just as you think he's about to get too gross with it, he
Uh-huh.
immediately follows it up with, "Hey, I'm bad at sex. I got a weak dick." So like
Yeah,
so before you can get offended, he immediately talks about how bad his sex game is.
his peen
So
don't work.
pee pee no worky, you know,
Um,
you
I,
know
I
he
I like the faux bravado that Alex brings to this character. I like that, and it works. Not my favorite character, but it'd been a while since we'd seen him, so yeah, this worked pretty well for me. I mean, and the puns were very clever
right.
in
It's
this
one of
guy.
those it's one of those things where your character is supposed to be a douchebag and a dirtbag and unlikable, but like how do you not I guess step over that line to
Right,
actually making him unlikable. Like,
right.
by saying things like, "Oh, you could take your date to the Javits Center where you can jab it enter with your Johnson Johnson. My dick doesn't work."
Yeah,
Like it's a tricky line to walk. I think. I mean, talking about this again, where I remember like a couple episodes where we talked about the that Beck Bennett character, the guy who sees things a little differently. Like he's supposed to be a douchebag,
right.
but I know you weren't crazy about it. Like he kind of
No, I just found that character annoying.
yeah,
Didn't find
exactly.
it
Like
funny.
it's a character that's supposed to be annoying, but you don't want to. You got to play it where you're not actually annoying. It's like
Yeah.
it's a fine line. And
Yes.
but yeah,
Razor thin.
razor thin. But yeah, I think I like this part. I think I think Alex Moffat is always kills it, and I guess the wordplay, the quick puns, him calling him Yost infection, like little jokes like that, or
Yost infection I enjoyed, yes.
you take her to a BBQ, which stands for Babe Be Quiet. My dick doesn't work. Terrible A.
And lastly, we had our last weekend update feature. This was Heidi and Mikey as Hattie and Jeff Dealey, who are as a 26-year-old groom and a 106-year-old multi-billionaire bride, and the groom oddly getting accused of being a gold digger.
Yeah, go figure. I
Yeah,
mean, what? I mean, May December romances can't be a thing.
like I mean, and just to clarify, I'm not saying he's a gold digger.
She gives me money when I'm
I'm
me.
not saying that, and I cannot sing any more of that song.
Yes,
Um,
that's right. You walk it
I
back.
literally cannot.
You're
Uh,
you're you're already in hot water with that Indian chief thing.
that's right. I mean, I'm already like in too deep already.
You don't want to make
Um,
2 videos. Hey
but
man,
no,
hey guys.
so it's just Mikey's character of Jeff trying to justify that he really loves and is attracted to this 106-year-old woman. He's like, except for the walker, I thought it was Margot Robbie. Is this a real story? Is this like a real couple? I'm assuming it is.
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is like one of those scenarios where it does happen enough that they can make a sketch about it. I don't think they're talking about anybody particularly, but um, I I looked around. I couldn't find anything that trending that this would be about. So I think
Okay.
it was just like a general thing.
Okay. I didn't know, and I did not research it. So
But yeah, I thought this part was okay. It kind of petered out for me. It didn't
went a
really
bit long. Yeah,
little bit long. I mean, it's good character work by both Mikey and Heidi. I
definitely they
thought,
did. The performances were great. I was really impressed with the makeup on Heidi.
yeah, because I mean that old lady octogenarian thing looks like it feels like something that Kate would have played. But so it's
mm,
good to see Heidi in it.
yeah,
At one point, she kept talking about custard, about wanting custard before bed, which I didn't get until the
sure.
very end when she was like, "Oh, custard," and she was pointing to Mikey Day's crotch. So it was like, "Oh, okay." Pee talking about the peenie.
I guess so.
Yeah, this sketch. I mean, this segment I thought was, eh, but
Yeah,
I do like the character work in it. I'll say that. I think the character work,
yeah. I think the performances elevated this.
absolutely. Yeah, next weekend update. Uh, Next up we got Frat Trip.
Frat Trip. This was co-written by Dan Licata and Streeter Seidel, one of our favorites. This is a fraternity. They're planning a trip the weekend before finals. They're saying, "Hey, we should rent a house in Tahoe." And then Daniel Kaluuya's character suggests that they invite their moms for Mother's Day weekend. And Mikey's character doesn't like that idea.
Yeah, because they want to get a house in Tahoe, bring over some righteous babes, which I don't even know if people say anymore, but I'm saying it. And yeah, and of course, like you said, Dan Kaluuya was like, "Hey, it'd be a cool idea. Let's bring our moms. It's Mother's Day weekend, bro. Let's bring our
Right.
moms." And then before you know it, somehow it's getting traction that they should bring their moms to this thing.
Yeah, everybody except Mikey's character seems to be getting behind the idea. And Mikey's like, well, hey, maybe we should stop joking about taking our moms along because some people might take that seriously. And, we don't want there to be any confusion.
Right. At one point, I think they say, "Oh, what should we bring to the house in Tahoe?" And I think Alex says, "Oh, we should bring over like a classy beer, like Amstel Light." And then and then Kaluuya says, "Oh, we should get some 24 packs of Activia for our moms."
Yeah.
And then suddenly everybody is liking the idea of bringing their moms to this. And then it ends with them FaceTiming their moms on the big screen.
Yeah, they
played
got a
by
big group chat. And Cecily is playing Mikey's mom. And she's like, well, hey, I hope you don't mind him planning to wear a two-piece bathing suit. And
yeah,
then it
it's like,
closes with a photo of Mikey's character and Cecily as his mom on the trip.
yeah. I thought the sketch was all right. Not the strongest ending.
I didn't entirely get this one. I mean, was it just supposed to be like the bizarreness of asking their moms to the trip, or was the joke supposed to be that they think that Mikey's mom is a babe and that's why they want to bring her along?
No, I think it's just the bizarreness of
Okay, because I was
wanting your.
getting a little confused when she was saying like, "Oh, I'm bringing my two piece," and I don't know.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see
Maybe I'm
them.
just reaching then.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants their mom to show up in a two piece. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's your
Yeah, but
mom.
I thought maybe they were setting up. I guess it's a little late in the sketch to set that up, but I thought they were maybe setting up like, oh, Mikey's mom is like really hot, and that's why they want her along.
No, I mean they didn't really touch on that throughout the sketch. Like I feel
Yeah,
like if that was the direction they were going in, like that would have been brought up more. Like more people would have been like, "Oh,
yeah, I think you're right.
you're bringing your mom. What's up with your mom? Is your mom still with your dad? What's up with?" Like they would have done that.
Yeah,
But
I thought that just because also it didn't seem like they made up Cecily to look as old as the other cast members on the Zoom chat. So
yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I think the whole sketch was just based around, "Oh, that's weird. You want to bring your mom to this?"
yeah, so I just got confused at the end. I guess
Yeah, I mean this
I was like,
sketch.
wait, are they trying to nail his mom?
Yeah, they would have drilled that home point more home.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah. Kiyow!
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, that sketch was okay. It wasn't anything to
Yeah, this one
write
was
home
kind of
about.
a swing and the miss for me.
Yeah. Next up, Dog Park.
Dog Park. This is credited to Stephen Castillo. This is Ego and Daniel Kaluuya meeting up at the dog park, and Daniel Kaluuya starts doing the voice of Ego's dog, and Ego objects.
Yeah. It's this one kind of goes in a lot of different directions.
You made my dog sound like a damn fool. This one, I got to be honest, I was a little distracted because I was like, "You're doing a dog sketch and you don't have Cecily Strong in it.
I mean,
Come on, what the hell are you doing?"
that's her wheelhouse, man. If there's two
How?
things Cecily Strong does, is crazy conservative pundits
Yes,
and dogs.
yes. If you have a dog sketch, I think you should be legally required to put Cecily Strong in there. If SNL put out a collection of the best of Cecily Strong plays with pups, I
Right.
would buy that collection.
Damn straight. I mean, that like you said, that should be state law. I mean, Cuomo
Yeah.
should sign off on that.
If they said we are rebranding SNL so it is now just an hour and a half of Cecily Strong playing with dogs, I would still watch that show and greatly enjoy it.
Dude, if it was that, this podcast would be way longer than it already is.
This is true. This is true. But I
Right.
was just like, how dare you, SNL? How
Oh,
dare you not
good
put
day, sir.
Cecily Strong You have dogs in studio, and you do not let Cecily Strong play with them.
Good day, sir.
She's got a little necklace with her dog Lucy in the opening.
I mean, come
thing.
on, man.
I
Come on.
mean, the woman loves dogs. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Arf, arf.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it starts off with Daniel, inadvertently insulting Ego about her dog. Then Andrew Dismukes comes in with his dog,
Right.
and I think
And he starts getting in Daniel's face because he hates the dog voice that Daniel did too.
right, and then the two of them square off immediately because
Right.
like,
And
oh, you
then
think
Jessica Ego's character, she just walks away while the two of them are screaming at each other. And then the sketch ends.
yeah, this I mean, hmm. I mean, it was super
Yes.
short.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, like yeah, I mean, it was super short. It's less than 4 minutes to sketch,
Yeah.
and the way it just ends, I was like, And like I said, it's kind of going off in a bunch of different directions. You think it's going to be about Ego and Daniel Kaluuya, and then Andrew comes in, and become the sketch becomes about them,
Yeah.
and then Ego just left, and then the sketch is over. So I was
Yeah.
like, I just this
And,
needed more.
and once again, no Cecily Strong playing with dogs.
I think that I'm bearing the lead. I apologize. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the real tragedy of this sketch.
That's the real tragedy of the sketch. It's the real tragedy of this episode. It's the real tragedy of life, quite frankly.
Wow, strong
I feel
words.
robbed.
Strong words.
Yeah.
But yeah, this sketch needed more. It needed. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was like, where were you going with this?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it had moments. I liked how she was like, well, you're doing a weird voice for my dog. He doesn't sound like that. He's not British. And Daniel Kaluuya is like, well, I'm British. She's like, oh, so if you were doing
a Cat Williams
what's the
impression.
person's name? I'm blanking on the name.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. If you were doing Cat Williams, would he be British? And he's like, I don't do Cat Williams. So
And she was
well,
like,
that's another point against you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was good, and I thought they were going to go in that direction, but then it zigged when it should have zagged, and it was kind of, it was
It's just a weird kind of unbalanced sketch, I thought.
Yeah, it was going off in a bunch of different directions and not really going anywhere at the same time.
Yeah, just so kind of a swing and a miss for me.
Right, and so final sketch of the night, our 10-1, half brother.
Half brother. This was co-written by Anna Dreesen and Kent Sublette. It has Keenan's character celebrating his 69th birthday, and Daniel is there as his half brother Lars, with Cecily as his wife Jolene, like the whore from the song.
Again, another part where the camera wasn't on Cecily when she said that line.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's a very funny line, and she did it nicely.
I mean, I even looked on the YouTube, and it's still not there. They didn't fix that.
Good so bastards.
Sons of... What's with all this Cecily disrespect? First the dogs.
You don't give her a dog to play with. You cut away from her on her line.
Oh,
good Lord, people, get your shit together.
You guys can't see it, but I'm flipping a table right now. In
very
anger.
Quietly, though.
Yeah, it's it's padded.
Yeah. That's impressive. So it turns out that the half brother Lars, he plays the upright bass, and Cecily she doesn't get to play with dog, but she gets to do one of her other favorite things, and she sings an odd jazz song with scatting.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a few other sketches they've done before, where it's like a group of people having a party, but there are these two people that are a little bit kind of oddballs, and they kind of do their own thing, and everybody's looking at them like, wow, what are you guys up to?
Yeah, and they're singing a song that people don't recognize, and they're just like, what's going on, huh? What?
Right.
I mean, this party.
Right. Yeah, I thought that's what they were referencing or something like that, but then I saw a tweet from a friend of the show, Selena Kopic, and then she mentioned that this sketch might be based on this video that went viral a couple of years ago from Kim Cattrall, where it's this video of Yeah, like when she tweeted, I was like, "What?" And then I looked it up, and like, there's this video of Kim Cattrall kind of with her then husband, and like her husband is playing an upright bass, and she's like scatting. And I don't think it's for a TV show. I think it's just like something she did and was up on YouTube back in 2011. But then it kind of
In
got.
2011?
That's what I'm reading here,
What
man.
the? 2011?
But then it got reshared a couple years ago, and like I guess people on the internet are like saying, "Hey, what is this?" It's I don't. I mean, I don't know if the sketch is based on that Kim Cattrall video, the one I'm looking at right now.
Okay. So we've had like what, like three or so things in this episode based on viral videos. Is that right?
I think I don't know. Don't hold me to this. I don't know if it's based
Oh,
on
I'm
this.
holding you to it.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't make me make an
This
apology
is
video.
gospel now.
Don't make me have to make an apology video if I'm wrong. Come on, man.
You will make a apology podcast.
Wow, man. Wow. I'm really sorry, guys. I got some soul searching to do, man. Whoa. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay, if they're going to base this many things on viral videos, maybe they should just give us like a reference sheet before each episode so we know what to check out, so we can get the context of these. Because I feel like if I'm not familiar with a thing already, they're leaving me behind, you know?
You want them to give us cliff notes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean, again, I don't know if it's based solely on this video, but it might be, but it might not be. I could be wrong. Maybe it's
Because
based on
I
something
mean,
else.
I am not generally in the habit of Googling Kim Cattrall scat videos.
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
that sounds bad.
oh God,
Um,
I am the scat man.
videos where she is scat singing. Don't do
Hmm.
that Google search at work.
Don't do that. The other
I
one
mean,
is
if
fun.
you're at home, go nuts. You do you know, be your best self. But
Yeah, the Wang one is fine. Don't do the other that one.
yeah. Number one, please look that up. But I'm sorry, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Oh yeah. So I think that's what this sketch is based off of, but I could be wrong. But either way, back to the sketch. So yeah, it's basically like them singing to his brother this scat song that ends on them meowing for no reason,
Yeah,
and then it kind of segues to them telling everybody that they're getting divorced.
right.
And
Because they have an open marriage, but the husband forgot to tell Cecily's character Jolene about it.
like I swore I could have told you at some point.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. And then it ends with them going to have sex in Keenan's bedroom, and they leave the door open so everyone can see.
Yeah, pretty much. It's definitely a 10-1. It's an odd one,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, I can't deny that it was undoubtedly a 10-1 sketch.
it's an odd one. But I didn't hate it. I thought it was like, huh, it's a choice. It's a
I
choice.
didn't hate it. Again, this is kind of like the earlier one where I was just like, oh, okay, that's there. That's a thing that they did.
Yeah,
So
and
I thought the show started off strong, but it definitely lost steam as it went on.
uh, I'll go with you on that. Like overall, I thought this episode was pretty solid. The second half was definitely a little bit weaker than the first. I thought the first
Yeah.
half was pretty solid. The second half was like
Mm-hmm.
okay. But overall, like I said, vast improvement over last week's episode.
Yeah,
Uh,
definite step up from last week.
Kaluuya impressed me as a host. He just came in
Yeah.
and was just like knocking out the park. He was gung ho for everything.
Surprisingly, during the good nights, quotes Jerry Springer.
Yeah, did not see that.
Take care of yourselves and each other. And I was like, wow, I haven't heard that in a million years.
It's been a minute. Like I think if I ever host, I'll probably do like a Ricky Lake quote. That's
Sure.
more my speed.
Yeah,
But
that's what you got to do.
go
I'm going
Ricky.
to go Sally Jesse Raphael.
Ooh, red glasses too.
I don't know if she had like a catchphrase or anything, but yeah, I'll just do my best to emulate Sally Jesse Raphael.
I
You
might
know,
go.
as I do in all aspects of my life.
Right, of course. We all pray to the temple of Sally Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, Kaluuya impressed me as a first time host. I thought he was super solid. Like it
Yeah.
was like one of those things where like when Adam Driver hosts, you're like, oh, he mostly does, drama. I don't know if he could do comedy. And
Mm-hmm.
Adam Driver showed he's more than capable of doing comedy. He was almost like another cast member, like the way he just kind of took to it. And I
Yeah,
thought,
it's always nice when a host just blends in with the cast like that, particularly when they're a new host. But yeah, some people just immediately click with the show.
right. So overall, I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a
Mm-hmm.
great episode. Some strong writing. Like I said, second half, wasn't the best, but it was still enjoyable enough.
We should mention there were a few cut for time sketches as
A,
well
f-
that
a,
SNL has posted up
a,
on their
f-
YouTube feed.
a
You
few.
you actually shared them on our Twitter account.
Yeah, so there were not one, not two, but three cut for time sketches on this thing. It was
Yeah,
I was like, wow, they cut a lot.
and
Uh,
I saw you posted this on the SNL Nerds account, and this was like when like okay, we delayed our recording today by like a half hour, and I was like, okay, cool, I have time to run out and get a little breakfast. I'll go do that, and then I see this while I'm out, and I was like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to watch a bunch of sketches when I get back home.
yeah, it was way I was not expecting
I was like,
all.
three, that's a lot.
I was not expecting this. That it took me by surprise.
That is a lot.
Um,
So the first one you posted it's called Salt Bay.
Yeah, and this is based off of a I guess I don't know the guy's name, but there's like this kind of Instagram internet famous chef who everybody calls Salt Bay because he does like a weird pose when he sprinkles salt on meats at people's table, and he's like Instagram famous. He has tons of followers, and he's like a big old deal.
Uh huh.
So in this
Okay,
sketch, yeah, no, he's huge, and so in this
I'll
sketch
take your word for it.
yeah, so in this sketch, they had two couples in a restaurant. Um, Beck Bennett's playing Salt Bay. He comes out, slices the meat, and of course the women at the table are like, oh my god, it's Salt Bay! Get your
Yeah,
cameras out! And everybody's videotaping Salt Bay, sprinkling meats and slicing the meat and seductively feeding the women at the table, while the men at the table kind of look on in not horror, but like being upset. Daniel Kaluuya's character is a guy who doesn't know who Salt Bay is at all, and I think Mikey Day is also at the table, and he kind of enjoys it. He likes to watch. Not
yeah.
not bad.
This one it didn't work for me at all. I didn't
Really?
find it funny. I didn't get it. I think it's because I had no context for it. Because again, they're basing it on this supposedly viral video that I have never effing heard of.
Uh,
So I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I just didn't have any context for it. And it didn't work for me.
Really, I thought it was all right. Like, I mean, I feel like even if you didn't see the video, you can kind of get the context. I think I tweeted it out too. I got strong. Remember that sketch, Bellissima,
Yeah,
from the '80s, where Kevin Nealon was taking Christy Alley to the Italian restaurant, and like
I remember that sketch. I didn't find that one terribly funny back in the day either.
you don't find Dana Carvey licking the host's face funny?
I mean, uh, I guess I'm generally in favor of Dana Carvey licking people's faces, but no, I don't remember. I didn't rewatch that sketch, but I don't remember finding that one terribly funny.
All right, fair enough. So that's one of the sketches they cut. Another sketch was Hero, which was a pre-tape. That's another thing about today's episode. There was only one pre-tape. I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so Hero was basically a pre-tape. It looks like it takes place in a like an army in the jungle.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're in Vietnam. It says like there's a subtitle that says it's like 1970,
right. So they're
and there's a soldier who's being held prisoner somewhere, and they're like, we're going to have a volunteer mission to go after him. Because this is so deadly, it is purely voluntary. And Chris Redd's character stands up and he's like, hey, we're Marines and we take care of our own. And I know if I was in trouble, any one of you would go out after me. So,
right.
and then after he gives this big speech about how they're going to do this thing and how everybody has each other's backs, he finds out it's actually a one-man mission.
Right. So they only need the one dude, and he's like, "What?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, you're it. You're the guy. You
You
volunteer."
volunteered, so you're it. So thanks. And then they start explaining the mission in detail. They're like, you're going to go through like Hamburger Hill and this, and all these deadly obstacles he has to go through.
Yeah, I think they said at one point one of the soldiers that they sent in earlier got a bullet shot up his butt.
Right. Yeah, not in one of the cheeks, but like it actually went up the hole.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and then they finally say, and this is where we think the guy is. And he's like, wait, you just think he's there? You're not certain?
yeah. I liked this sketch. I thought it was a good character work by
Mm-hmm.
Chris. I mean, this is like Chris Red is pretty much making this whole sketch go. His kind of little showcase.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of Chris Red, and I thought he carried it really well. It was shot really well.
Yeah. Very
I don't know.
impressive production values on it. This was good. I like this. I wish they'd kept it in. I think it
Yeah.
was funnier than several things that were in the show.
I'll give you that. I mean, maybe Rummy Cube could have gotten taken out for this, or I mean, I don't know. Definitely, maybe Dog Park too, because Dog Park really
I
didn't
mean,
do it.
I think it was funnier than both of those. I think it was funnier than Frat Trip or the viral apology video.
Interesting. All right. I hear you. So and then the final cut for time sketch, Beanie Babies,
Mm-hmm.
where we have. I mean, this one I believe Julio Torres had a hand in
Julio
writing.
Torres, Bowen Yang, and Celeste Kim.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows because this sketch definitely seemed to be like a retread of the Sarah Lee sketch that they had when Harry Styles was on,
Definite similarities, yeah.
and yeah, so it's basically uh, Adie and Bowen who work at the company that make Beanie Babies. I think it's Ty,
Yeah. I don't know if it's Ty or TY, but yeah.
right? And Daniel is their kind of guy who writes up descriptions for the Beanie Babies for their social media
Like yeah,
accounts.
little bios, and they're like, oh hey, we love your idea of like giving their birthdays and stuff like, and they're just supposed to be like cute, adorable little bios, but of course they take a turn.
Right. They get kind of odder and weirder and just way more bizarre than they need to be.
And just going into his existential loneliness.
Yeah, it shit gets real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the sketch was okay.
I
I mean,
really enjoyed this one. I wish they'd kept this in the show.
whoa, wow, this one did it for you.
This one did it for me. I think
Ooh.
this might have been my sketch of the night.
Woo!
I
Okay,
mean, if
hold
I
on.
can pick a cut for time thing as a sketch of the night, and it's my podcast, so I make the rules. So I'm going to say, yeah, this was my sketch of the night.
We make the rules.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I thought it was very funny, very worth looking up
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah,
So,
no, absolutely,
Beanie
guys.
Babies, SNL, and Number Wang.
All right, far out. So yeah, those are the cut for time sketches, guys. So check them out. And yeah, that's our episode, guys. Thanks so much for listening as always. I think we did get a few tweets about this if you want to.
We did, we did. Let's see, we got. Let's see. Our friend Bill Brosky says, I did like the slow burning vibe of this category sketch, and I felt like the Nigerian family sketch would have been really good without all the technical screw ups of the camera being on the wrong person. Basically, the direction of the show was kind of a mess this week.
Yeah, like I'll agree with that. I don't know what's happening with the camera work or what, but it really kind of took the wind out of the show. Like they need to fix that project.
Yeah, yeah.
We have our good friend Ruby the Rube says, in a season that I found to be kind of weak, this was easily the best show so far. It was basically flawless outside of a meh cold open and pretty tiresome ending sketch. Really strong performances and jokes all around, and St. Vincent's performances were super solid. I like that most of the sketches just took place inside people's houses and involved relatable situations. I always prefer that over parodies of other TV shows or rap music videos about whatever's hip with the kids today, like last week's episode.
You know,
Uh,
I think there were maybe a few too many sketches that were just like in living rooms this week, and
really?
it gave the show kind of a monotony to it.
Um, yeah, I could see
I
that.
wish they'd mixed up the settings a little bit more.
Yeah, but there were a lot of slice of life sketches, which are always interesting.
No,
I think.
no real political content outside of Weekend Update.
Yeah, that's true. I guess not a lot of political stuff happened. That was interesting.
I don't know. You know, I'd like to see more of Moffat's Biden,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
but maybe
Um,
there's just not enough going on I don't know. Nick Store says, I like the slow burners of The Poet and the Sigma Delta sketch. The monologue was one of the better non-stand-up ones. Weekend Update was good. I thought the Kate and 80 show was the best of their recurring bit. I'm still waiting for the joke in the Rumba Cube sketch. Ego equals MVP.
Agreed.
And then he expands on that. He says, let me reiterate, I thought the Rumba Cube sketch was one of the worst sketches in recent memory. A lot of hatred for that Rumba Cube sketch. I didn't like it, but I didn't think it was that horrible. So
yeah, it got a lot of heat. And then we have _Mike_ saying, I enjoyed the monologue and Weekend Update. Joe Daniel did well with what he had, but no real standout sketches for me, though. I think the version on Hulu may have been cleaned up, as I didn't really notice any camera mistakes. Maybe they're using the dress versions.
I mean, that's not unusual for the show. If like something goes hideously wrong in the live show, they do substitute the dress.
Right, absolutely.
Or maybe they're even able to go in and re-edit it. I don't know.
Right, absolutely. And so that's our episode, guys. Thanks again for listening. Much.
Wait, I got one more. Manette Marati had something to say, and oh god, okay, yeah, they were talking about she was talking about the Salt Bae sketch. She says this was based on a brief viral Twitter moment about a woman flirting with him in front of her husband, who gave them the restaurant moment. It happened a while ago, so I can see why it was cut.
Yeah.
So,
again,
I had no idea it was based on a real thing, so I had no context for it, and I just didn't think it was funny on its own.
Okay. No, fair enough. But yeah, that's the episode. So far, this episode, I think, like you said, is a step up, and that's the show, guys. Thanks again for listening, as always. Join us again next week when we have Carrie Mulligan
and Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi?
Kid Cudi.
Okay. Are they cute?
It's one guy.
Okay. Is the guy cute?
Yes. He's
all right.
Totes adorbs.
Okay. Cool.
Carrie Mulligan, a famous actress. She recently won. No, she didn't win, but she got nominated for an Oscar for her performance in Promising Young Woman, a movie I saw a week ago, and really good, really strong movie. And again, another British actor. Well, let's see how she does on SNL.
Yeah. I've seen her be funny. I remember her starring in a sketch on, I guess it was the Colbert Report, or maybe it was Late Night with Stephen Colbert. But I remember her doing a sketch with Stephen Colbert, and she was funny in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does.
All right, fantastic. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at SNL Nerds Show. And, please rate, review, subscribe, all that jazz. Donate to our Patreon at Non-Productive.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Trumbull Comic. That's TRUMBULL and the word comic.
Right. So, I guess that's it. So let's, unless you got something else to say, another apology video you want to throw in here real quick?
No, I regret nothing.
Well done. Excellent.
I stand by every single thing I've ever said, ever.
Same.
Right.
So that's our episode, guys. Thanks again for listening. Thank you so much for reviewing and reviews and all that jazz. And until then,
nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.